And then
That's it. And then we can go into the charts if you want the watch list.
okay. Yeah, the thing is, how I see it is nothing above the Trump's visit. Like, this is particularly we are here, right? So he came here, so we need to have
Yeah, I met with him.
this type of insights, visits. Yeah. And then Saudi, he went to Saudi, Qatar, UAE now, and then bye-bye. That's it, huh? No other countries. Syria, not Syria?
No, he didn't go there. We started. I think we can start.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone back to Crypto Code by ICN Live. This is our live format we're doing every Friday. I have my dear friend and partner here, Danny, with me on the live. We have so much to talk about this week. A lot of things happening. Danny, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Again on green market, yes?
Every time we go live,
Yeah.
it seems things are going great. So that's a great place to start. Let's look at what's happening right now in the markets. We'll start with Bitcoin dominance. This is great to see. We're starting to see it kind of go down. So we were always talking about when the altcoin season is going to happen. And if we look at the past 1 week, it looks like it's been going. Bitcoin dominance is trending downwards, which means potentially a good sign for altcoins. And with that, next we look at Ethereum dominance, and we can see in the past week it's up 15%. Remember, we all thought that Ethereum might be a dying giant, but it seems like something's happening. Danny, what do you think is happening with Ethereum?
I think they deserve. Is still the largest ecosystem, after Bitcoin, but still they have, the largest amount
TVL.
of developers. Like almost 2,000 developers still working, and TVL, of course. And I think Ethereum deserves this place, deserves to deliver, because there is big community behind. Also big expectations, and I see Ethereum performing very, very well.
31% dominance over the past month.
I mean, this is nothing. This is not. Who believes in Ethereum is not here for 30%, right? Like I'm a huge fan as well. Like I like Ethereum.
I've been around since the
beginning. And I want to see Ethereum going like in a price point. I want to see it above $15,000 at least. Like to have a solid market cap.
I was looking at the latest upgrade. Is that going to like bring down transaction fees? What is it? The Patara, the latest upgrade that happened on Ethereum. People are thinking that could be a reason why things are looking good. But it's very exciting to see green across the markets. Obviously, with what's going on in the United States, what's going on with world economics, it's everything. As we discussed, by the way, we always thought that what was happening with China and the US was going to be sorted. Moving on, it can't get any more green than this, Danny. Look at this. Top 100 coin performance over the past 90 days. You know when there's green in the market, when Fartcoin is like number 2 on the list. Like for me, that's a sign that we should be selling and getting some profits. But this is very interesting for me. I like to see, people always say we're late. You're never going to do the 2x. You're not going to do these 3x's. But here's proof. Over the past 3 months, if you took the risk and put money in Fartcoin, you would have double.
Yeah, it's very how to say it's when you think about ecosystems like Ethereum, for example, and to see another 5x from here, 7x or 10x even, somehow it's hard to believe, having this type of market cap, but not far away that we had. A beautiful example with XRP, right?
Yeah.
Immediately after Trump's election, after he won, like and XRP literally did like 4x, right?
Yeah, in a month.
And it's a 100 billion market cap project. So don't underestimate the power of a powerful bull run, guys, because what's happening in the bull run, it's unbelievable. Indeed, for a short period of time, this one, it won't last years. Will be maybe 6 months of super aggressive pumps.
Yeah.
But that's what we have been waiting for, right? That's the moment where where we want to exit.
But I'm a little biased. I mean, I don't like seeing so many meme coins on this list. I always have this, I'd rather look at infrastructure projects, real fundamentals. I mean, here we're looking at Pengu, we're looking at Pepe, we're looking at Fartcoin. I think there's just way too much. And then usually when I see this kind of sign in the markets, it feels like it's not sustainable, And then
the gambling is back in.
The gambling is back. It feels like a casino. It's not a fair launch. We don't know who's behind them, and yeah, all of that. So, very, very, very interesting.
In the same time, it gives us the appetite of the market, right? So they have again this feeling of playing the market, throwing money in crypto, and the only thing is they need to direct the capital on the right ways.
Especially when there's greed. It feels like it becomes a casino all over again, and that tends to happen. Okay, awesome. So I wanted to move on to, we are here in Dubai. Donald Trump has graced us with his presence. I didn't get a meeting with him, unfortunately, this time around, but he has done the tour and ended it here in the UAE. A lot to talk about. What are your thoughts on this trip?
So he started in Saudi Arabia and then went to Qatar and the UAE. So this visit is it's indeed a very powerful one, part of the all partnerships and the funds that have been discussed there. I mean, the amount are just crazy, right? Like we talk
big
about
boy games, big boy level.
Qatar 1.2 trillion, Saudi Arabia 1 trillion, UAE again, like big numbers. So the level of partnerships and this type of visits will give you exactly the direction and who is with who, right?
Absolutely. I mean, as an Arab also, I'm very proud that we align on business incentives, economics, working closely with, the US as a powerhouse in technology, getting access to AI, getting access to the latest crypto trends and crypto technologies as well. It just makes me as an Arab very proud to be part of this and seeing the governments here really, pushing the envelope with these kind of agreements. But you're right. I mean, the numbers are just way too big for any of us to understand.
Yeah, and I think it's about the entire region as a whole.
Yeah.
Now, this type of partnerships will, will strengthen up the relationships and will be like you can't neglect anymore because if you look at AI, for example, and this is my point of view, ask me what was my take on this.
Yeah.
I think this visit is all about taking advantage in front of China with all the relationships here. So he wants to be sure that everything is set before anyone else, aka China. And AI. I think AI in the next 10, 15 years and onwards from now on will be the most important narrative in the mankind history. Like
by far.
There's nothing above. Like the implications in robotics, in air taxi, flying cars, you name it, it will be big by AI.
Completely agree. And like what I love about these deals is that hopefully like Americans, I feel like a lot of them have a conception of the Middle East as, what we are. Hasn't always been positive, but now I feel like hopefully they see that we're here as partners, we're here to do business, we're here to work together. People like us are, building real industries here. And then what I love about the Middle East is we work closely with China, we work closely with America, we work closely with Europe. Like we're right in the middle. It's a strategic location for us, which is great. So I'm very, very excited. We both have children, raising them here.
Yes,
so it's very exciting.
From this perspective, indeed nothing above in the world. There is no better place
Don't convince more people to come.
No, let them come. Let them
joking.
come. Yeah, it's always open. UAE, and particularly Dubai, is unbelievable from this perspective, lifestyle and safety and all these things.
Absolutely.
But I want to stay in AI because this is important. So, not because the Middle East is, geographically speaking, somewhere in between and represents like sort of advantage for this as a location. But if we think AI right now in the world, we have US number 1, China number 2, and you know what's number 3? UAE.
Especially Abu Dhabi specifically as well, right? They're really pushing.
This is a place where like 99% of the world is taking notes when it comes to AI. What type of developments are happening right now?
Yeah.
And the vision, it's last week we put a news on ICN Live, starting from kindergarten up to 12th grade, AI will be included in school. This is very cool stuff. This is
we had
very,
a discussion
very
about
cool
this,
stuff,
about school
right?
and our kids and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
So imagine giving access to.
It's essential. It's like coding, right? Coding was brought into the curriculum now. AI is phenomenal. I mean, I was talking to someone as well. Like my son is 10 years old, and I was doing math with him, and it's getting hard. Like I haven't done this math in a long time, and obviously I have ChatGPT on the side to kind of remind me and teach me. But when we talk to these AI, it's like you could tell them, okay, teach me like I'm 5, and like make it very easy. Where instead of just giving me the answer, it's super fascinating, because for the longest time I was trying to figure out, like, my kids always ask me, like, what iPad games did you have when you were growing up? I'm like, I didn't have an iPad, or and these kids are growing up with iPhone 16 and iPads and PS5 and all these things. So when they become parents, what are their kids gonna have? And I always think about that. But now when you just said it, robotics, I feel like they're gonna have like a robot butler at home cleaning up and doing all these things.
They'll have super jets minds, bro. Like they will be in such an advanced human version that it's unbelievable.
And the CEO of NVIDIA was here as well. You saw they were doing this whole announcement of these data centers. I think Damak is also involved with this.
Yeah, I mean, like, not
exciting.
only we talk about in super high-end individuals being part of this. Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk was here.
OpenAI guy, Mr.
Sam Altman. Yeah.
So we see the biggest boys in the industry coming here in the region and building, because this is the thing, like building. That's why I mentioned that I see this visit somehow with baked by AI thoughts.
Yeah.
This is a China visit and AI visit.
Yeah.
That's why they came all together to implement stuff, to be sure that what's happening now is happening together.
Strengthen the partnership, strengthen everything. Yeah, so there was, back to what happened in Saudi Arabia, and you're right. I mean, Google was there, Oracle was there, Salesforce, Uber. They announced $80 billion in tech collaborations, JVs. A lot of developers and talent are going to be coming here and working out of here. Headquarters would be in Saudi and the UAE. It's a great time. I'm very excited, because then when my children grow up and potentially get a job, there's going to be so much opportunity.
And as you mentioned earlier, I'm 100% sure, I might be wrong, but I don't think so, in the next period we'll see official visits from China doing the same thing, because this is the beauty in this part of the world here, particularly UAE, because I believe here for 11 years. I can speak from experience. The leaders here, this is exactly the vision, like have this approach with everyone. Okay, you can have some favorites, but in the big picture, it's an open door, it's an open ecosystem for everyone, and I'm 100% sure we'll see big deals with China as well.
And back to the quick one on the UAE, I saw the news that we can now pay for gas with crypto. We can pay for the visas and government services with crypto. What is this latest thing? I heard Crypto.com is involved. There's a partnership that's ongoing where...
So this partnership is another big move, and it gives us this direction from the leadership here in the UAE. So it's a partnership between government and Crypto.com. For the government payments, right?
You can buy anything now with crypto here. House, car,
so, yes,
visa, gas.
And all transactions on chain. This one, it's another big plus, right? Because we know how the governments are in other parts of the world without mentioning anything.
It's so weird how this
my country included. Imagine, have this type of governance at this scale, running countries, and have this type of transparency. Like you put government payments on chain. this is like, what do you want above? There's nothing above. Like in terms
Property,
of
title,
leadership.
deeds, everything is on chain now.
This is so beautiful. Like,
yeah, completely agree. Let's go to China.
yeah,
A trade war truce has finally been announced. I think we said this was going to happen. We figured that this was all like show me who has a bigger one kind of thing. And then they put a 90-day truce. They went down from 145% to 30%, which is great. And I make the joke, it's like when your wife comes and says, I want to do my nails for $300, but then she's actually at $60 and you're like, oh, okay, that's cheap. But in reality, so I feel like they always wanted to get to 30%, but they started up high and then, So anyways, it's gone down. China lowered its taxes on the US from 125 to 10%. And this is in place until August 12th. They also lifted the rare earth mineral restrictions. So it looks like hopefully things are going to be just smooth sailing from here. But what are your... Yeah, it was a wild ride.
I mentioned last time, but I will say it again. They had, this flex moment.
Yeah.
Like, okay, who is stronger, who is bigger? But at one point, of course, there are big minds behind, big leaders, and they understood quickly that this is not a happy end for none of them. So back to reality now. Let's go back to normal tariffs and normal, management.
Let's get back to doing
status
business.
quo. Let's back to business, exactly, because tariffs with 250 on each of us, vice versa, it doesn't make sense for anyone. You just destroy the entire business landscape. Everything what you have built in 20 years, you can destroy with one tariff, which is not helpful for none of the parts.
But I was thinking about it too, like the smart money or the corporations, the big ones who they paused all orders from China. Remember, they said, I'm not going to order anything until I realize and figure out what's going to happen. But then you had the small businesses who were like, I have no choice. And then they ordered, and then you see them on TikTok and on Instagram having to pay the 245%. Like I've seen this. It's insane because your margins are gone. You have no more profit. You're just, you have staff, you have to let them go. So again, the big boys, corporates, they win. They know what to do. They ordered in advance. They waited. They knew this was going to go down.
They paid the price. Of course, they knew it. Should be clear for everybody out there that when countries like US and China, they accept and they agree and they have this willingness to go in this type of battles of tariffs at the country level. They know exactly what's happening, what are the implications, who is going to don't exist anymore, and all this type of thing, how long they can stay in this
when
period.
To pause.
And from this, it's a collateral victims, right? It's
usually the smaller businesses.
They just paid the price because also the victory will be, worth mention at the negotiation.
Yeah, but if you let people go, it's very hard to bring people back. It's sad,
anyway,
but it's been fixed.
It's good that they are back in business,
and that's why we're seeing green.
And we see this in the color of
the market.
The market.
I wonder how long this is going to last, though. You think the bull market will last until the end of the year? You think there's going to be a surprise in the summer?
I think we'll be ups and downs, but overall, I think we'll have a positive year.
Yeah, I think we'll.
And the next year, I will see it even more. Like
yeah, but the US is so weird because then they have their midterm elections and they have to figure out like it's such a 4-year political
other
game.
Implications.
I know, but it's I don't know. I feel like the US politics is so weird because like it's every 4 years and then every 2 years.
Everywhere.
Not everywhere. No. Not everywhere. China, there's no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of democracy.
In the UAE, right?
Yeah. All right. So next up, I wanted to talk about something interesting. We're seeing now exchanges going into the S&P 500, which is insane. So Coinbase joined the S&P 500.
This is a very big one indeed.
I did my research. So to qualify, to be included into this, companies must have a market cap of at least $20.5 billion. They have to have consistent profitability over recent quarters, and they have to have high liquidity and a significant public float. Coinbase has met all three, reporting a net income of $65 million in its latest earnings and a market cap of over $50 billion. So a SEX on the S&P 500 for the first time ever. What are your thoughts on that?
It's really one of the greatest news this week because the effects, right?
Yeah.
The impact, it's gigantic. Like having a crypto project at the end, right? Even though some voices that they mentioned that Coinbase is nothing
It's
but a bank.
centralized. Yeah, it's a bank. It is
It's
a bank. Let's be honest.
But let's keep it as a crypto project
It's a crypto
for
bank.
a while. Let's keep it like that for a while.
Yeah.
Having it's like now we are at the table with the big boys. Like we are part of S&P 500 right now. You became legit, right?
Yeah.
No one can say anything about you anymore. And of course, should have been someone from US, obviously, and who else, right?
Yeah.
Coinbase is the answer for all these check marks. And beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Amazing. So yeah, I mean, it's I'm quite bullish on that. Obviously, everyone knows what's happening now with Coinbase. They know Bitcoin, they know Ethereum, and it's just become a household.
In Coinbase, they are
name.
doing some nice business moves lately with the acquisition, and they said that this is just the beginning. The beginning, you saw,
But hopefully they don't get all too centralized and like the social media when Facebook started buying Instagram and buying everything.
There is no other direction.
There's no other direction. Yeah.
At that, you can't go. Okay, the only protocol or the only network that can go at this level of scale in a decentralized way is Bitcoin.
Yeah,
that's it. That's why Bitcoin is Bitcoin, by the way. That's why, and for no other reason. It's only because of this.
I was watching ARK Invest, Kathy Wood's predictions on Bitcoin's price in a recent video, and by 2030.
They smoke a lot.
Like
always they come back with. No, what I like the most are the guys from Standard Charter.
Yeah, those
guys. 300,000. Oh, sorry, 500,000.
Yeah. But listen, I mean,
of course we can play with your.
But everyone's buying. I mean, BlackRock made a purchase this week. 21. There was another one I want to talk about. 21 Capital bought 42,000. They have 42,000 BTC right now, so they're now the top 3 public holders of BTC.
I think it was the largest one-time transaction.
One-time transaction. Strategies. There's going to be a lot of these coming up, and my only fear is that if you don't own Bitcoin now, it's going to be very expensive when you decide to get in because.
But have you noticed something that right now, if you see a news like Strategy just acquired another hundreds or whatever Bitcoin, it's like nothing.
It's
like
not even headlines anymore. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, even like 5 years ago, I'm not talking 10.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago, one announcement like this, tens of thousands of Bitcoin acquisition, it will jump 3x. Now it will go even negative.
But I'm seeing we talked about this. We talked about this last week about how Bitcoin has decoupled from the stock market and kind of follows now gold and that. So people are starting to talk about it. They're saying, listen, this is actually becoming a safe haven for risk and holding, it's no longer follows the stock market. It has its own thing now. People are realizing that it's a store of value. And this is a big turning point in 2025.
We'll see this? We'll need to wait to see this, huge spike on demand that will actually position the price to the roof, going to the roof.
Do you think that's connected to its dominance? Do you think the dominance would be 80%?
Yeah.
You think one day?
For sure.
Well, I think that's why it's quite high today is because of the ETFs and all of these, right?
For sure, it's a lot of room only for Bitcoin from here, and I think only then at that point when Bitcoin will reach like 75% market dominance, we'll see altcoin season.
My question is, if there's going to be another Bitcoin.
No, it's impossible.
Like another project that's going to come out of somewhere that's going to have limited.
No.
Never?
No.
We always said that. We said who's going to come against Facebook, who's going to come against Instagram, TikTok game.
This is something else.
Oh, that's something else. I don't know why.
I mean, I don't
this,
see it.
I have this itch in me that there's going to be one more thing coming. I don't know why. That's going to be faster.
No, rarer. I mean, maybe I'm a too die-hard fan.
Me too. But not like a smart contract layer one I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a new kind of like, still like a store of value digitally, you know? Not a layer one, not a layer two.
If we have conversations around other layer ones, okay, even though Bitcoin is not layer one, but just as an idea, like Ethereum and down, right? Solana, all other layer ones, layer twos, layer threes. You can come in the market with something that, okay, we are faster, we are,
less than
blah,
21
blah, blah,
million.
la, 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 cheaper, and all this game of the infrastructure blockchain, right? But when you attack Bitcoin, you can't. Like, what would you say?
Yeah.
Okay, we are also decentralized. Done. Like, we are like this. Done. Like, you can't duplicate it. You can't. That's why it's so powerful.
Litecoin,
maybe my
BCH
mind can generate this type of
we already have them.
moves,
Litecoin has it. Bitcoin Cash, right? It's also a fork out of them. So there are a couple.
fork you can create. Type it is, but
all right, okay, fine.
What's the Bitcoin
there will
Cash
be
right now?
no other Bitcoin.
What's the Bitcoin Cash market cap?
Let's have a look at the
Just to see.
screen. Let's have a look at the screen. So
Bitcoin Cash,
BCH.
not even top 50. It's somewhere
behind the sun.
So yeah, this is the thing. You can do anytime. Anyone can do a fork, by the way. But who is going to follow? No,
that's
I can
a fair
find
point.
it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, here it is. Bitcoin Cash number 19, $400.
19?
Yes, sir. BCH. It's up 24% this month alone, down 91% from its all-time high. 8 billion market cap. Not bad. All right.
Yeah, comparing to 2 trillion.
Next up on the news I wanted to talk about is the Animoca Brands launching a US IPO. Well, I don't know if it's true, but they're planning a US IPO. These are the rumors in the industry. So we're seeing another crypto massive investor holding company, gaming studio,
the largest
investment fund in the space.
Yeah.
I looked at the numbers, $300 million last year in revenue. A lot of that is also advisory for token launches and market making and these kind of things. They have $300 million in reserves, $500 million in assets, just digital assets sitting there. So what do you think? Do you think it makes sense for a crypto native company to go IPO on the stock market? I mean, isn't the whole point of, wouldn't it make sense for like a company like Animoca to list its own kind of token and be like, decentralized kind of thing? Or what are your thoughts on the other way around?
I'm a huge fan of Yatsu.
You've had him on your interviews. You've interviewed him
on 2 times on ICN Talks, and not only this, but first time he came when we were like 500 views per episode. Like,
very nice guy, very smart.
Unbelievable. I appreciate that. I will never forget it. This one thing. So I had this honor to be in a podcast with him 2 times, and I could get something from his vision. And I think everything what he's planning to do, it's a 10 to 15, 20 years move. Even though we might see that at the moment doesn't make sense too much or whatever, but the way how he thinks and the way how he understands this type of moves, you just have to give him credit because he's legit. He proved it. And
I was looking at remember we created a watch list. I was looking at it and they're all like, everything's flying right now, 100% in the last month. And they're diamond hands. I think they hold on to these tokens for a long time. But it's very interesting to see because I've seen and I've spoken with founders who've sold their companies versus founders who've gone public. And a lot of them, after learning about it, are like, I'd rather just sell my company rather than going public. Because once you go public, as you know, every quarter you have to do quarterly calls. More pressure on you. You have shareholders, board of directors that can vote you out. It's just, it's a lot more difficult because you always have to grow your revenue, improve your profits. It's very challenging to go IPO, especially in the US.
Maybe he sees this potential of upcoming markets.
Yeah.
Like we talk about
It's the biggest capital
robotics,
market.
right? When we see now, I don't know if you interact with this narrative, is quantum blockchains,
Computing?
quantum, yeah, like it's a very very hot right now.
Like supercomputers?
Yeah, quantum. This is the word.
The one that's going to end the world.
Yeah, this narrative and a lot of projects. I've seen that already 3-4x. I don't want to mention because then will be like financial advice, and we don't.
But this is part of DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure networks.
Yeah, you can put it in that drawer. But the thing is, we have these large, super big narratives coming towards, and I think from this perspective, when you have this type of opportunities to attack these markets at this scale, you can go and list your company, because then you have meat, right? You have big potential markets. You have
money. You get access to
markets to deploy, to invest.
Yeah,
will be huge demand, and of course, then will make sense. So shout out to Yatsu.
Shout out to Yat and the Animoca Brands family. Okay, I wanted to touch quickly on the SEC. We have a new chair, Paul Atkins. He's planning to modernize a lot of the regulations. We're already seeing that. But then I looked at the news and they kind of delayed some of the ETFs. So Solana and Litecoin's ETFs have been delayed. And the final decision has to be done on August 11th. It's a Dogecoin ETF. Like that, I think it's too much. I think...
Yeah, this is the when the banter is coming in place, right? Like what I said last time with the stablecoins. After that, if every single meme coin will have its own stablecoin, you can just forget, right? Like it doesn't make sense anymore.
So that's a great point, because we're going to move on now to USDT on Tron.
But so quick,
you want to talk about the ETFs? What else do you have about the ETFs?
You want to stay more on that?
No, because you mentioned the stable coins, I was thinking. But then, I mean, if you want to talk about the ETFs, Solana and Litecoin ETF.
Where do you see the line? Like, okay, from this point downward, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like, where do you see this line? Ethereum, of course, it makes sense.
Ethereum is interesting if they start to allow the staking part as well. What's nice about this kind of product is it's very interesting and easy for sovereign wealth funds, for pension funds, in the West to invest in these kind of products. But like, how much are they going to allocate of that into it? Maybe 1%, a very low rate.
Yeah, but if you talk billions of dollars, 2%, that's
I mean, definitely
huge.
Definitely.
Impact.
So listen, I think it's fine. But once you start going to Dogecoin, I think that's way too much. I don't know why a meme coin would ever even be considered for an ETF. I also have a contrarian view. Like, I feel like there's just too many layer ones. I feel like there's just too many, So are we gonna have one for Solana? Are we gonna have one for Sui? Are we gonna have one for Aptos? Are we gonna it's just So in my opinion, I feel like
it's like
Bitcoin,
launching a token for big boys, right? The ETFs, like you put a token in front of big funds. Like
the minimum ticket would be like 10 million.
But it's the same thing, right? Somehow
it is the same thing.
You just give access through a financial vehicle, through your ecosystem.
Yeah, and it legitimizes these kind of projects, right? So it's I mean,
we will see exactly what
we're going to see August 11th if these guys are going to be
the limit. But in crypto, we have seen that.
When there's an opportunity, everyone will try to get in and grasp it. Okay. Now I want to move to stablecoins.
What you have there, Sean?
So this week, USDT on Tron surpasses Ethereum. First time in 6 months. So TRC20 USDT supply has overtaken ERC20 USDT, signaling a shift in liquidity, especially with whale activity and global payment behavior. Actually, during Token 2049, I met a custodian, someone who's working at custody, and he was saying that in Southeast Asia, Tron, USDT on Tron is much there's much more demand of it on that than on Ethereum because of like transaction fees, because of like, yeah. So I was shocked
Of course,
by this.
there are parts of the world where one protocol is more active than other. That makes perfect sense.
And Tron is Justin Sun in Singapore, is that right?
Yeah, it's just in some point.
So Tron now hosts 73.7 billion USDT, slightly ahead of Ethereum's 71.3 billion, so 2 billion more. And why does this matter? Well, Tether's total supply is now $150 billion, the most new mints landing on Tron. USDT makes up 99% or all stablecoin liquidity on Tron. Okay, yeah, so USDT on Tron is 99% of all stablecoin, while on Ethereum, it's only 53%. So,
also Tether,
I would never have guessed that, to be honest
with
you.
This AI QVAC or something like that.
Yeah. Grok?
No, Tether.
Ah.
It's on ICN.live. The article, you can go and check it out. It's AI introduction in the Tether ecosystem. The goal is to let users run AI tools on personal or embedded devices, no centralized services, no centralized servers, no third-party control, just local autonomy. The system architecture enabling anyone to develop functional AI-powered agents. So I think this is another angle to show us how powerful AI is going to become and how many implications will be big by AI in all ecosystems. It doesn't matter the size. All big boys. If you don't use AI right now, like I don't know, you are already behind.
Everyone's using it on a day-to-day basis, and I can tell when someone's using it. Yeah.
As a business, by now, any business should have implemented like 30% AI. Otherwise, you are behind.
No, completely agree. And if you're seeing, there's going to be some huge announcements from Google on how to use AI agents within your business. Marketing managers. Meta also announced this new tool that they're going to have that you come in onto the Meta ads. You say, I want to generate 10,000 leads. And it'll create the visual for you, the content for you. It'll find the target market for you. And do the best it can to generate those leads for you and convert.
So right now it's not a guess game anymore. So you don't have to run ads like for those who are running ads for their businesses before. You had to set up the creatives, choose the right audience, have A/B testing and all these type of things, the campaigns, right, to change one detail in each campaign, running like 20 campaigns and see which one performs better, and then you scale the one that does the most in terms of ROI and stuff like that. No, now it's like this. We give you straight away the results. Tell me how much you are willing to pay, and I'll give you the result. You don't need to do it. This will change the game forever. Everyone will be back to like crazy amount in ads.
So how does a brand win in this new age? It's going to be about whoever has the biggest audience, right? I mean, you have to have an audience. You have to have a story.
No, you just need to spend money. That's it.
On Meta.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the thing.
So you need to have capital.
Yeah, the more you spend, the one who spends more wins. That's it.
Yeah, but you're seeing, I mean, it's an interesting time. If you look at what's his name, Gary Vee, he talks about organic marketing, which is a huge, like the algorithms today of getting you in front of people that don't just follow you, like new people, like the For You page, for example. It's so powerful. If you know how to if you can figure out how to create engaging content, especially like the first 5 seconds and then build out a story. I'm starting to see really cool, like brands creating like a theme, a story with their employees. And then you have it feels like a movie or a show that you're watching, and you're trying to get to know who these people are, but in reality, it's like a business. And that kind of like theme of instead of just taking a picture of the product, you showcase the people behind it, what's going on behind the scenes, the problems, the issues, and you create like a social show with your brand.
I understand this, and I'm a marketer, so I can see where it's going with this, but this type of content will just increase the percentage of viewers as pure entertainment, because the content they deliver is nice. Okay, now I see the CEO.
Yeah.
Some employees, they mention their names. The CEO needs to guess the name by the voice, and all this time. So it's fun. It's like, okay, I will spend 20 seconds somewhere in my in between moments during the day for this type of content. Okay, but what's the value that I provide for this company at the end as the end result? Nothing. Just will be one view plus, right? Because I don't buy, or I don't engage. I don't.
But I enjoy these entertainment kind of things.
It's an entertainment game right now.
There's one it's a car brand in a small town in the US, and they're recreating like the office feel, like the boss who's like a loser kind of thing, and it's hilarious.
The content creation game now has changed completely, because if you are a business owner, you have all these elements in place right now, all these AI tools, reaching across multiple platforms on social media, your audience. But you need to do this right now. You have to do this. And if you want to do it properly, then you you become a media producer.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to understand content creation. You need to understand which platform works
young
how.
People in your business.
Young minds. And
I think it's a good point. What about with
it will push you to access different versions of yourself.
I like this. So what's your take on marketing in the crypto space in terms of new projects that are launching, in terms of what I tend to see, and it kind of infuriates me a little bit, is this KOL. Like, you talk to everyone who's launching a token, it's like, okay, how much do we allocate for KOL? Like, that has to be our main strategy. There isn't really an organic content creative approach in crypto that I've seen so far. I mean, I can't right now name crypto as what's it called? Coinbase, I think it was, that just did those ads where they showed you the container, 21 million Bitcoins. Did you see this? Very cool ad. I'll show it to you on Instagram, where they show you like the money supply is a whole container ship of the money supply dollar, and then they have one container with 21 million. So these kind of like creative ads you don't see very often in crypto, or when a coin launches. It's always like, oh, KOLs will do this, we'll do a Twitter space. Like, it's like, I feel like there's so much room. What do you think about that?
Again, from marketing perspective, both strategies are right. It's where is the sweet spot? It's how much percentage do you put on what side? Because if you put 90% of all your efforts behind hype only, that's a totally different strategy, right? But exactly. It will be for a very short period. You will be on everyone's lips for 2 days, and then bye-bye. But if you have a mix of like solid knowledge and utility, and you have 80% of that, and then here and there around big announcements, you access these KOLs and spark and increase and accelerate and amplify this visibility through their ecosystem. That's just perfect. I mean, this is a perfect execution. The hype should be there. You need hype in marketing, but it has to be done correctly, and again, align with the bigger vision that in a very back end should be the solid one for years.
But I would love to see more creative ads in our industry. I don't think we've seen it. I can't think of right now any crypto project where I'm like, oh my God, that ad was hilarious. That ad was good. Like, I don't know if it's because most of the stuff we're doing is not even. I mean, there are like Uniswap and all of these dexes that are fun and ways that you can earn yields. And I don't know if that's allowed to advertise, but there's just it's not fun. It's not funny. It's not, there's nothing there. It's always the same kind of.
So you are saying like you are $10 billion project. Why don't you just hire a world-class marketing team?
No, you don't even need a world-class marketing team these days. I mean, you can do a lot with a phone, right? And create and showcase at least behind the scenes.
The ads.
Well, why not? I mean, yeah, okay, maybe Uniswap is a different use case.
No, it's a good example. Yeah. Like why Uniswap is not running Like,
can you picture
to
the logo
destroy
right
my
now?
mind, right, with the ads.
I can't picture the logo. Like I can't. Like I don't know who's behind it. There's no face.
That
You know, because
colorful
and
unicorn, right?
X has
What they
become
have.
the go-to place for crypto, including marketing, when it's faceless, pretty much faceless. I mean, X, as we know, it is always about talking and text and words. It hasn't. I haven't seen crypto really move into the TikTok, into the Instagram, into showing us behind the scenes what it takes to create a company like this, and growing TVL, and I don't know what to say, or like new yields that are out and about, and like making
Maybe
it
it's
more
a
fun.
matter of regulations. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not
Everyone's
allowed.
scared. Well, they used to be scared, especially during the ICO days, right? No one wanted it to be known. Yeah. Well, I think it's a huge opportunity for anyone who's.
When they will open this drawer for running ads in crypto properly, like they will
look,
come for sure.
FTX did it,
There's
and then
so
look what
much money.
happened.
It will be another channel of manipulation through ads. Like things got so far, we haven't had any ads. But imagine any meme coin can put
but a
$1
lot of
million
public
behind the ads.
But a lot of public companies do ads, right? And then the stock price goes up because of these ads and the campaigns that they do. Like there's no campaigns. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to look for.
Yeah, here we talk
campaign.
about investments, right? Because these meme coins, what they want at the end, they want you to put your wallet, right?
Yeah, but who is behind these meme coins? What is the story? What is the? I think Pengu. There are a few that are very. Actually, Pengu is a good one.
Is different story.
Pengu knows the marketing game, and they've done like they've done the stuffies. They've gone on Walmart. They've done all these things. So
I mean, I wish we see meme coins projects performing like this with this execution.
Yeah.
And this is maybe the most beautiful example of the industry. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good one. So there's a lot of hope there. All right, I wanted to.
Can I say something
Please.
on this? I think overall, because you asked me about this new projects coming, I think right now it's very clear for everybody that. Only with a real utility project and when you solve a real problem in your market, backed by a great marketing execution, you will survive in the next years. Otherwise, I don't think people can. Majority, right? Yeah. I'm not saying cannot completely, but I think everyone understood that there is no sense to put $500 behind something. I mean, you do it for fun, gambling. Like I'm in Las Vegas. Let's go to casino. I don't care. Just let's drink something. Let's put roulette $500. If you have this approach, that's perfectly fine. But if you work 6 months and you have $2,000-3,000 savings and then put this money behind this type of projects, that's a big no. Yeah. That's definitely a big no. So, and I think this is not going to happen anymore at the larger scale because unfortunately people lost a lot of money in this bear market and on all these ups and downs. And they just, if they have right now like $5,000 savings, they would rather go like, okay, maybe I'll go on vacation and I'll just, live my life rather than put again behind any project that in 2 months will go 90% down, right? Yeah. So I don't think we will see again. I think we passed the stage and the industry right from here onwards, we'll see like less projects. We can have the same volume.
But I mean, look at virtual
going
protocol,
forward with
AI
millions
agents.
of tokens in the market. I think will be just ridiculous. To continue in this way.
So we're working. I mean, I told you about this. We're working on something called Ventureverse, ventureverse.com.
Yes.
We're going to be launching our own token. Very excited. We're going to be working together on the announcements on this as well. It's basically tying everything that we've been doing at Brink as a venture accelerator, as an investor, as an ecosystem builder into one new token with great utility and great stuff. So we'll talk about it more as we get closer. But the website is liveventureverse.com. You can go check it out and join the waitlist just to learn more. And we'll definitely be collaborating.
I mean, this is the type of project that we want.
I'm so
right?
excited about it.
This
Honestly,
is
the stuff
exactly,
that we're doing
and
is.
you guys will have some more info.
You heard it here
on time.
first.
Exactly. Once the project is developing more, and you will understand why this is it makes sense to have a token,
A platform
or
like
in
this.
platform,
It's
and all
exciting.
these type of things.
All right,
Awesome.
we're heading towards the end of the session. I wanted to go through. If you've watched some of our evergreen content earlier, we've created watch lists of gaming, AI, made in the USA.
I'm excited to see what's.
Do you want to see what's
yeah.
happening in there? So let's get right
your
into
predictions
it.
and your
Exactly.
bets.
So let's do that. Prepare everything again.
So we had guys on Crypto
here.
Code. We had episodes where we literally chose projects that we believe in, and now is the time of judgment.
Okay, let me see, because I think my face is.
Pull up your swords.
My face is like in the way, but it's okay. We'll scroll around. Okay, so this is the OG's watch list, which I think everyone already knows how these are going. But if you've seen some of the content that we've done on the channel, I love to put from all-time high because it kind of gives us a feel of how, the potential that we could hit. Bitcoin is the minus 5% from its all-time high. I think that's the lowest. If you look at the others, Ethereum is 46% from its all-time high. But look at these, Danny. I mean, in the past 30 days, Ethereum 65%. It's been great. Cardano 28%. These are all the OGs. These are the projects that are not going anywhere in the next 5 years. Another one, by the way, Chainlink. Have you seen any ads of Chainlink? It's like one of the biggest, oracles and providers of all the data on chain, but we don't see anything.
So important.
It's so important. Pi as well. It had a rocky start, but now it's up 44% this month. Uniswap that we talked about as well. All right, so these ones we all know. We've also done a couple on. Let's do gaming. Let's see how the gaming industry is doing.
This is a tricky one.
This is a tricky one because it's very hard to build a game, and the infrastructure around it is very expensive to build it out. So
takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time. It's like Hollywood plus coding
times 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Hollywood times 10 is gaming.
So IMX is up 70.8% in the past 30 days alone. That is insane. But if you look at from all-time high, they're all minus 90%, minus 98.
98%?
From its all-time high.
Wow.
Yeah. The Sandbox up 30%. So if you had,
Sandbox?
The Sandbox is down 96% from its all-time high. Yeah, but its all-time high was like $8.50. It's now at 32 cents. So these are the ones that we have. We have IMX, Sand, ApeCoin, Ron, Beam, Notcoin, YGG, and Guns, all doing very well in the past 30 days. Guns, we talked about the Gunzilla token and their latest game as well. Go check out that video. Off the grid, yeah. Unfortunately, as we expected, the token, as soon as you launch a token, you're under a lot of scrutiny, and it gets harder. AI. These are the tokens we're excited for about in AI specifically. We have Near Protocol, FET is the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, the Graph, Theta Network, Ocean Protocol, and Singularity Net. I mean, look at these numbers, 73% up in the past 30 days.
Yeah, obviously in AI, we see the highest rates, the highest pumps, right?
Mm-hmm. But look, from their all-time high, they're still, a long way to go. So
this is the Bitcoin dominance game.
This is the Bitcoin
like when you see Bitcoin
game.
is running like crazy and alts don't, that's the moment where you should be very careful. And ideally is to, again, not financial advice, but one great strategy is to stay in Bitcoin as much as you can, right? And then deploy from Bitcoin to alts when the dominance is
you can also borrow against your Bitcoin to buy if you want to play this
game. That's even more complex. But I'm saying like very basic one, because you just stay in Bitcoin is very solid and very stable, even though it goes down 5% but after 1 year, for sure you'll be in a positive position. Somehow, I don't know, it's just my thoughts. And then when the dominance is to the roof, when it's super pump, then you consider to deploy something from Bitcoin to other ecosystems that you think, and then that's the game. But this is just one strategy that it looks like is performing in the best. But to have this accurate execution, you need to have a proper timing, right, to execute this order. That this is just your decision as an
if
individual.
you're a trader or if you're a long-term holder, and this is just like a security deposit on your future, then I would just hold it and just forget about it.
Because even now is like 62% dominance, still high. You know, like it's a lot, like 60%, right? But and you go and you can say, okay, that's already high. I will just move it to altcoins, and then the dominance goes to
with
70.
With Ethereum, right? That's exactly it. It's shifting literally into Ethereum right now.
It's a matter of self-interpretation and self decision.
And then another theme that we identified for this this bull run is made in the USA because of everything that's happening with Trump and their push towards regulating the space. So these are the coins that we've put into the watch list. We have XRP, obviously, Solana, Sui, Chainlink, Avalanche, Render, and Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. So these are all made in the US coins. With
this I like it so much.
This is the future.
It looks very, very solid. With Sui and Chainlink and AVAX and Render.
These are very strong projects, and these are the ones that we'll talk about and keep following to showcase how they're behaving. So I think that's everything that I have here. We also did one about 5 altcoins that I'm watching. Oh my God. Look at Virtual's protocol in the last 30 days, 247%. You could have 2.5x your money if you had invested in Virtuals a month ago. Yeah, so
just 1 month ago.
Just 1 month ago.
It's always like that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. It's been a great episode. A lot of things happening every week, especially in the space. We want to be up to date with everything that's going on. We want to let our viewers know what's going on. If you liked what you saw, liked what you heard, please subscribe and like the channel. It really helps us out with the algorithm. Danny, any final words?
Thanks for being here with us. Obviously, this one is going to be on YouTube. You can watch it later if you haven't made it to the live. And stay in touch with our ecosystem. We run ICN.live, Web3 News broadcaster. We run ICN Talks, the podcast guys. We try to bring the biggest names in our industry. Our recent episode with Ryan from Crypto Banter, the world's largest crypto channel in terms of live streaming. So we try to stay connected, bring at the table great conversations and people who achieve great results and, of course, their story behind. So keep watching us. We are here to stay.